friends, today we are going to deal with English idioms and phrases. This will be a part of two-part series on English idioms and phrases. In this first part, we will learn some idioms and phrases and their meanings. And the next part, the remaining idioms and phrases will be discussed. So let us start. The first idiom that we are going to deal with is to bark at the noon. Imagine that there is a dog and at the night time it looks at moon in the sky and it starts barking at the moon in the sky. Will that be of any use? Of course not. In the same way, we use this idiom when somebody is railing uselessly, somebody is blaming uselessly at the main in high places, which we also call as uh, blaming the person in the public or criticizing the person. Such activities are of no use because the person in the high place does not listen to it. Even if that person listens to it, he doesn't pay attention to it. So the influence of such an activity is very limited. So it is called as it is just like barking at the moon. So to bark at the moon, that means to rail, to talk uselessly, often derogatory at men in the high places. So this is first idiom. I hope you got the meaning. And then comes next meaning, all Greek to me. Now it means meaningless and incomprehensible, like someone who cannot read, speak, or understand any of the Greek language would be. So this is the phrase related to something or someone which is hard to comprehend. If we don't know a foreign language, if we don't know language, then it becomes very hard to understand what is written on the page or what is said by the person. In the same way, when something that is we cannot understand, that is called as all Greek to me. So it is meaningless and incomprehensible thing. So anything that is meaningless or incomprehensible is called as this is all Greek to me. Suppose somebody tells an incident and then he says that, do you know anything of it? You can say, no, I don't know. It's all Greek to me. In the same fashion, you can use this uh, idiom. Then comes the next idiom, all in the same boat. So when everyone is facing the same challenges, then there is no use in sharing it with one another and saying that you are luckier than me. So in that situation, one can say that we are all in the same boat. That means we are all facing the same situation. So no one is luckier than the other person. Then comes next idiom, back to square one. So it is a kind of situation that comes in the game of snakes and ladders, where you climb the ladder by going through a lot of hardships and you go to the last row of 90s. And then suddenly at 90s, a snake swallows you and you come to the back to the square one. You come to the first square from where you had started climbing the ladders. So that kind of situation when you have to start all over again in something. Suppose you are doing something and somehow your work is not saved. You are doing something on the computer and your work is not saved, and then electricity goes off, and then you see that the work was not saved, and then you say that I have come back to square one. That means you have come to a situation from where you had started, and now you have to redo the things. So that kind of situation is called as back to square one. Then comes another idiom, which is beating around the bush. That means avoiding the main topic, not speaking directly about the issue. when somebody doesn't want to say something unpleasant, or sometimes he wants to hide the name of the person, or he doesn't want to tell the fact, then he would talk in a roundabout manner. He will not say the thing, he will not name the thing. That kind of talking, in which main topic is avoided, or when the person is not talking directly about the issue, about the problem, then we say that he's talking much, but he's beating around the bush. Then bite off more than you can chew. So this one is about a situation when a person takes on a task which is very big to his capacities, when he is no longer able to finish that task, then we say that that person has a bit of more than he can chew, or I have a bit of more than I can chew. That means something that you cannot handle properly. You have taken on the task, or you have started something which you are not able to finish off because the task is very huge for you. In that situation, we say you bite off more than you can chew. So it's easy to understand. Then comes next uh, idiom, which is bite your tongue. That means avoid talking. When you don't want to talk on something, when you feel like talking on this topic or talking that thing will not be that good, so you will bite your tongue. So bite your tongue, that means don't talk on that matter. Then comes very popularly known kind of idiom, blood is thicker than water. The family bond is closer than anything else. So it also deals with nepotism in the politics or in social life that we see. Or sometimes it is also related to who can come together easily, or which bonds are very tough in comparison to other bonds. For example, if the two unknown people come in contact with each other, they are not blood relations to one another. In that situation, they may stay together, they may stay together for a long period of time. But when there comes a question of choosing between the two, whether a relative or a non relative, then generally there is a tendency, human tendency, that a person will choose a blood relation rather than someone stranger when he has to make a choice between the two. And in that situation, it is said that blood is thicker than water. Here, blood represents the um, blood relationships, your siblings, your close relatives, and water represents the person who has come in contact with you, your acquaintance, your friend who is not of your blood relationship. So blood is thicker than water means in a critical situation, man will generally choose his relatives over non-relatives. Then comes the next idiom, which is blue moon. Generally, this term is used in once in a blue moon. Generally, this is how it is used. But blue moon here means a rare event of occurrence. That means in a strange situation, generally something that doesn't happen or which is not a regular happening. When you are going to relate something very coincidental, very strange, unbelievable, improbable, then we say that it was in a, once in a blue moon, or you may say it was in a blue moon. Then comes next idiom, by a layman. Now, here that means to purchase a vehicle that constantly gives problems or stops running after you drive it away. So, sometimes this happens that we buy something, some vehicle or any other device, so that we can have comfort, so that our works can be done easily. But sometimes our experiences make us feel like we have tasted lemon. So, we become sour mouth, we have sour taste of that thing. In that sense, it is said that I have bought a lemon. Actually, we would like to buy a fruit so that our tongue will have sweet taste. But here, buying a lemon means our tongue will have the taste of sourness. That means we will be dissatisfied with the pleasures of the thing. We will not be happy with the thing itself. So something that we have purchased, for example, a vehicle, and it constantly gives you problems, we say that we have bought a lemon, not a fruit. So here I would like to conclude the first part of the idioms that we were dealing with. Due to the limitations of time which is permitted by YouTube, I'm not able to continue with this video, but in the next video, we are going to see the remaining idioms and phrases. Friends, I hope that you must have understood the meaning of all these idioms and phrases. You try better to remember them. At the same time, for better memorization, I would suggest you that you have to make sentences with help of idioms and phrases that you have learned, so that they will be the part of your psyche, they will be the part of your subconscious mind, and whenever you need them, you will be easily able to use them in those situations. So, with these words, I would like to conclude myself, and in the next lecture, we are going to see the remaining idioms and phrases. I hope you got all the meanings of the idioms and phrases that we have so far discussed. So I thank all the viewers, my friends, my students for giving me your valuable time. And I hope that you will share your feedback also with